Welcome to On Your Target Demographic and welcome to Comic Fights. Before we get started, let's look at last week. So last week we had Doomsday versus the Incredible Hulk. It was pretty close. A lot of people came to the conclusion that they would just destroy the planet they were on and come to a stalemate. But there was one thing that tipped Doomsday right a little bit over the edge. Who would win? Doomsday. And here's why. Both opponents have the ability to throw each other around as much as they want. They can hit each other as hard as they can, but neither will do much damage. Although Hulk is smart, Doomsday is not stupid and would probably realize the futility of brute force against someone who is pretty much his equal in terms of endurance. The only way to end the fight, therefore, would be for Doomsday to grab Hulk and jump. Hulk can hold his breath for a long time, sure, and the gamma radiation in his body stops him from freezing, but eventually he does need oxygen to survive. He'd gradually get weaker and weaker as blood stopped pumping around his body, each punch less damaging than his last, until he finally succumbs to death. Unlike his opponent, he can't come back from that. To be honest, another way to kill the Hulk would be to literally keep fighting him until he starves, but nobody'd watch that fight. Thank you, Sam, for always commenting, and I totally agree. Doomsday just has that little bit of an edge. So now, let's look at this week. This week we've got Killer Croc versus Warpath. We're going a little lower. We're going to some C, B-list heroes and villains because there's some interesting people and some interesting abilities. We get a lot of Superman. We want to see Wonder Woman versus these people. Let's get into some of the lesser known folks. So let's talk today about Killer Croc versus Warpath. In starting with Killer Croc, we are talking New 52. Killer Croc, Waylon Jones. He has a disorder that basically covers his body with these scales. Bullets can't penetrate him. Blades often break. He can fall several stories and survive. He is incredibly durable. He's also very strong. He can throw punches with Bane, who is infused with venom. And Bane is very strong. So Killer Croc can hold his own. He also has really sharp claws and really sharp fangs. But they're not made of anything special, but they are incredibly sharp. He's also not an idiot. A lot of people assume that he's kind of this savage monster, but Killer Croc is quite a leader. He's kind of taken this role in the New 52 of kind of becoming this leader and spokesperson for the misfits and homeless and downtrodden. All these people living in the sewers kind of gravitate to him as a leader. So to face off against Killer Croc, we are going with Warpath, James Proudstar. And Warpath is a mutant that basically everything is better. He's kind of this enhanced person. So he's incredibly strong, and his strength is really inconsistent. In some books, he's like the Hulk, like incredibly strong. In other books, he struggles to take down kind of normal people. So we'll kind of fall somewhere in the middle. We'll kind of average those things and just say he's really strong. And he's really fast. He can run up to 100 miles an hour. He is fit. He also doesn't need to rest very often. So he is just better. In terms of weapons, he fights with knives, which, okay. But now he has knives that are made of vibranium given to him by Storm. So these knives might be the tipping point in this battle if they negate Killer Croc's scales. So do you think this is an obvious one? Do you think Warpath has it hands down? Or do you think there's something about Killer Croc that gives him the advantage? So cite your sources, give me examples, tell me if there's moments that Killer Croc has shown that he might be able to take out a mutant like Warpath. And also give me suggestions for other heroes and villains that are maybe a little lesser known but not totally obscure that we might want to see fight. Think of creative combinations, not the easy ones, not the Flash versus Quicksilver. Think about creative fights that aren't so easy to answer. And as always, next week I will shout out, the best or several best answers to what will happen between this fight. So make sure you comment below, and thanks for watching Comic Fights.